What's happening, everyone? How's everybody enjoying the rainy weather we have here in Wisconsin? Welcome spring. At least it's not snow down in the southern part. I'm about done with snow. Although my birthday is the 21st of April, and it wouldn't be birthday week without some snow here in the middle of April. So hopefully we can break that streak this year. I'd be okay with that. Not a streak I'm proud to have. We'll give a few guys to get on here. Probably going to be a pretty short, sweet night tonight. Next week, I've got Gussie coming on. We're going to spend some time with Gussie, talk some smallmouth fishing, talk Bassmaster Classic, and it's going to be a pretty cool night. And then something else that I'm looking at doing here, and please, anybody that's out there, shoot me some names of some bait shop owners, some guys heck, even some different guides around the state. I think what I want to do is kind of do like a weekly roundup and get in touch with some of these bait shops. Whether it doesn't have to be even in Wisconsin. It can be anywhere. I want to try and use our network of bait shop guys that we work with as our customers with. On the sales side of things, and get these guys to kind of come in, do a fishing report, see what's going on in their shops around the Midwest, and give you guys some other opportunities to maybe go out and do some fishing in other areas. So something I've been working with some of the dealers, and I've got some guys that are excited to do it. So over the next couple of weeks here, we'll start getting that set up and kind of dedicate a few guys each night to let them come in, talk, tell them what's going on in their area, talk about their store a little bit, where they're at, how the fishing is, and if they got any sales or anything like that. So be pretty exciting to get things going here. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to get the boat out and not get blown around. I am ready for some not chocolate milk water. Seems like every time we want to get out, conditions just get terrible. But so kind of an update report on what's happening, on the rivers and what I know. Talking to some friends, and from what I've seen, water has really come up. The current is raging. It's moving pretty quick. Water is really dirty throughout the entire system. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're on the Fox up in Green Bay, Jared was up in Marinette, and I got a few fish. Nothing like hot and heavy or anything yet. Obviously the Fox and De Pere's been a snag fest for the most part. But water's really dirty. We need that to clean up. We need this rain to stop. The Wolf River is really dirty. It's moving really fast. Guys are picking up a fish here and there since we got this rain. But prior to that, actually, fishing started to pick up. Water temperatures are warming up. But now with this current, any fish that were left out in the lakes are really going to start to move here. Mother Nature's giving us all this water at the right time. And, we'll start to see definitely an influx of fish move through the system. The Fox from Amaro through Eureka, it's been really spotty. The water hasn't been as dirty there, but now with this recent rain, water's come up a lot, and a lot of debris, a lot of sticks and brush and stuff that starting to come down out of the river from the winter. Same thing, guys. Be very careful. I know on the Wolf River in Wapaka County, they issued the slow no wake. So be careful with that. But anytime we get these quick water rises, and that first time that water comes up and gets into the woods, that's when it starts flushing all the debris down. And you're going to really have to watch, your boats, watch your motors, looking for big stumps and brush and stuff like that. That's really going to be a problem here over the next week or so. As this water comes up and starts pushing all the stuff that blew around and fell off, and everything throughout the winter is all just laying in the woods. That water is going to come up a few feet, and that stuff's going to float. It's going to get into the river, and anybody cruising around and not being able to see that stuff's going to do a little bit of damage. Deadhead's still in the same spot north of the rock wall. Okay, yeah, it. Here's the thing, guys. Too, if you see that kind of stuff, please, be courteous. Or help us all out. I always carry, a couple extra water bottles or a couple extra milk jugs. Take some braid, some line, and it doesn't take, just but a minute or two to tie a buoy onto something that you see, or if you can, hook up to it and try and drag it off to the side. Get it out of the way if you can, but marking it is a huge help. I know over the years, this water comes up and down when it's low. We've tried to go out and tie strings onto things before the river run really starts to get going. Now I haven't been on the upper part of the Wolf yet. I was down around the Fremont area, but I haven't been up where a lot of the brush and stuff has come out. So I didn't get a chance to see if there's any really new stuff to watch out for. Now that the water's up, obviously, I guess I'll find it with my boat. Hopefully not. So ties up in O'Connell yesterday, us chugs floating around still. Found plenty of pre-spawn walleye. One nice one, 7 feet of water, purple rip and wrap was a hot ticket yesterday. Awesome, Ty. Thanks for that. I can't wait to get up there. I'm waiting for the right day. I had some buyers that were supposed to come up and fish with me over the weekend, but with that rain and wind, we just decided to push it ahead and probably go here in the next week or so. And that was our plan, was to head up towards Oconto or Marinette, but with that big ice shove moving around, felt that it was probably just good to stay home and let that stuff melt. Winnebago, that ice, the wind is really blowing around. Tomorrow you're going to see the rest of the lake pretty much disappear. 50-mile-an-hour winds. I know it's starting to howl here right now tonight over in Watoma. So tomorrow she's going to blow like a banshee and hopefully get rid of the rest of the ice. Praying for everybody's, docks and boathouses and all that kind of stuff. Here over the next 24 hours, because it looks like she is going to blow like crazy tomorrow. There's a big deadhead in the middle of the river, a couple bends up from Red Banks yesterday morning. Hey, Bo, thanks for that report. Please, again, guys, just grab a milk jug or some laundry, laundry soap containers, anything you got. And, now's the time to do it, because the water is just going to keep going up, and pretty soon you're not going to be able to see them. And those are the ones that do the damage, is the ones that you don't see, that are, just a couple inches under the water. You're running around, next thing you know, you got a hole in your boat. So, appreciate anybody that can do that. It's just helping everybody out. As far as, what else is happening, the Little Lake Butamore was on fire for a while here for a lot of perch, nothing huge, all good, just, 8 to 9 inch eaters if guys really wanted to take their kids out. But there again, after that rain and that wind, that water turned to chocolate milk, and you couldn't see but, half an inch in the water. So I don't know, haven't talked to anybody. I did drive down to Neenah and take a look, and water was just so dirty that we didn't really even, really take the time to fish. It was so bad. But that's one spot that has been doing pretty good. You can really easy to get to, fish from shore. They got some good parking areas, and just some bobbers and minnows fishing about 2-3 feet or so, and a lot of nice perch being caught. It happens every year. This year seems to be a little bit better than it has in the past. Some of the cricks haven't really seen anything too hot and heavy yet. With that rain, the cricks in some of the channels and stuff like that on Poygan and Butamore finally just started to open up. But the problem is with all that current coming through, again, the water is it's like brown mud. There's no clarity to this water at all, and it's just impossible for these fish to see anything. So once we get rid of this rain and, things can calm down a little bit, the water temperature, we had 40 degrees, up in the river, up in the Fox. So, it's getting close. It's getting prime. I know the channels and stuff like that, first couple of warm days we got coming next week, looks like it's going to be all in the 60s. So, those perch and, the early season bluegills, any of those back channels, really shallow water spots, you're going to be able to get onto some bluegills. And Ray, hey, thanks for joining the party. You're only 12 minutes late, not bad. But the channels and that'll start producing some panfish. They'll get those first early ice out fish that are kind of hanging around yet from late ice, and then from there, the walleyes are going to be prime up in the river in Oshkosh all the way through Winneconne and Fremont, New London. Stuff is coming, and it's just going to be a waiting game. There's a lot of fish in the river right now, but there's also a lot of bait in the river. I think that's going to be what's happening. Hey, Corey, your syrup is done. I ended up with about 9 gallons of syrup this year, and I'm kind of glad that that's done. I still got a bunch of buckets in the woods. We'll see if there's any sap in them. There might be a little bit to do one small little boil on the stove or something like that, but for the most part, we had a pretty good syrup year, and boy, is that stuff delicious. So if anybody's looking for, I've got a couple quarts, holy moly, I think my building's going to fall over. I got some quarts and some pints if anybody's looking for some, and just get a hold of me, send me a message or whatever, and I can get you some fresh maple syrup from the Peterson farm out here in Watoma. Red Banks Walleye Tournament is Saturday. Should be a great weekend, guys. We get rid of this rain here in the next couple days, and hopefully things will start to clear up. But it's going to be an interesting year. I think we're going to be battling, the fact that there's so much bait fish in the system, and it's going to affect it. The up run may not be as good. On the down run, I think, it'll be just like any other year. We're going to be able to get those fish coming down. Usually they're pretty hungry, and once that water temperature warms up again, you can start dragging crawlers. The fish always bite on the way down. Up run might be a little bit challenging, but see, Chris Bennett, got any keto maple syrup? I don't know what keto means, but I got maple syrup. The nice thing about maple syrup, guys, is that it's pure Mother Nature's sugar. There's no artificial ingredients. It is hard work. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that run into making that stuff, but it's so worth it. One thing that I do is I don't get all fancy and do the reverse osmosis or take a lot of the bad stuff out. I just boil it like they did in the old days. Boil it over a wood fire, and it gets filtered, but you might have some that has a little bit of niter, that's sugar sand in there, all those minerals. Shake it up a little bit, pour it over whatever you're going to eat, and then you got the health benefits of it too. It's really good for guys. It's a lot of antioxidants and stuff like that for your brain. They say it's good for Alzheimer's. I don't know, for the last 6 or 7 years, I pretty much take a shot of maple syrup, pretty much a shot a day. It's good. It's kind of a good sugar high, and kind of calms that sweet tooth a little bit. But I know Corey probably is looking for it to dump in some of his bourbon, mix a little bourbon with his maple syrup. And I know a lot of guys, I use it for cooking. We use it for a whole bunch of stuff. Just one of those nice things that we always look forward to in spring is getting some fresh syrup, fresh pancakes, fresh French toast, and then just whatever else. But back to the fishing. It's the river is gonna get good. We just got to wait it out. The one thing too, like I was saying, is that with all the fish in the river, they're just not in a biting mood. I think there's going to be so much bait and a wolf that we're going to have to get these fish when they come back down. And then after that, we're looking forward to the white bass run for sure. Next week, Eli's bringing me supper. What'd you bring me?
Tater tot casserole.
Tater tot casserole. Look at that.
Careful, it's hot.
My kid made supper tonight. Now, if we could just dump some maple syrup over the top of that, we'd be in heaven.
My mom's recipe.
Thanks, Eli.
Yep.
So what else is happening, guys? Where you guys been fishing? I mean, for the most part, a lot of guys have kind of been hanging tight. I know they had the Swamp Donkey tournament and the high school fishing tournament up on the Fox this last weekend. Sounded like it was a snag fest, and some guys are doing okay up in Ocano, Marinette. But overall, it's been pretty quiet just because of the weather conditions, and the boat's kind of sitting ready to go, and I'm looking forward to getting back out here too the next couple of days. That fish that Fox last weekend, that was rough. The nice thing, I guess, about not having to fish tournaments is I didn't have to fish. It was easy for me to call up my guys and say, guys, let's just move it to a different day because this isn't going to be fun. The thing about fishing, guys, is it should be enjoyable, right? It shouldn't be work. It shouldn't be real crazy. So Joseph is saying crappies up north have been great. So let's touch base on that because that was going to be my next item to discuss is how many people are still ice fishing. I looked at and talked to some of my friends that are up in the Northwoods. I was checking, Kurt's Island Sports. My buddy Kurt, they are still driving vehicles on the lakes up there. They just got another 20 inches of snow over the weekend. They're sitting on about 2 to 3 feet of snow, and all of that ice too. So most of the lakes up there, you need an extension yet to get through the snow and the ice to get out on the ice and do some ice fishing. But from what I hear, the guys are just pounding the panfish up there right now. The crappies, the bluegills have been doing really, really well. It seems like anywhere you go up north right now, you can get onto some fish. So if you got that late ice itch, definitely head north and give the guys at Kurt's Island Sports a call, and they'll point you in the right direction. They've got all the bait and there's lodging and everything up there. But I put my ice stuff away as much as I would love to get up there and do it one more time. And who knows? I still may. I believe they are probably going to have ice well through the whole month of April. I was talking to a friend of mine that was going through and saying, okay, you've got, so many days, you've got this much heat energy, and it takes this much heat and energy to melt snow and ice. And, at the rate we're going, they're going to have ice probably till the second week of May. But next week looks really nice. We're going to be in the 60s, and everybody knows that sun is super hot and super high and long days. And, it won't take long to start melting the stuff. But let's see, Chris, you can come join me on the Wolf Friday and fish if you want. Chris might have to do that, might have to join you, or we may just have to put my boat in the water. And actually, you know what? I got clients on Friday. I appreciate the offer, Chris, but I forgot I got a friend that's coming into town, and we'll be going out fishing with him and his grandson on Friday. So appreciate the offer. If you guys got any reports, let me know, and I'll obviously do the same, and we'll keep everybody posted. Here to help, share information. That's the best way to do it. Let's see, Joseph, 15-minute Friday afternoon, 14 drops, 14 fish kept, 12 walked off. Very nice. Joe, where are you at? I'm taking a guess you were still ice fishing. Patrick, yeah, Fremont's been tough. I'm going to probably concentrate down in Oshkosh and see if we can't get those fish to go. I know there's a few fish hanging around down there. A lot of those males haven't really come up yet. I think a lot of those fish are still out in the lake. But with this current now, I have a feeling the next couple of days you're going to see a lot of fish start to move up. So that'll be good. Yeah, ice fishing in Minocqua. That's awesome. Water has not cleared up. If anything, it's going to get dirtier here after this rain that we're going to get tonight. And then, the other thing too is this wind is going to really play havoc on the lakes. It's going to bust up the rest of the ice. Poigan's going to probably be gone, obviously, by tomorrow, I would assume. But with this wind blowing across Poigan, that's going to really dirty up the river too. And from Winneconne down, it'll probably get pretty dirty. A lot of wind coming tomorrow. I think it's going to be. They're calling for like 50-mile-an-hour gusts. So, and I can already, sitting inside the building here. This building is creaking and cracking, and can really hear the wind. So it just never ends, man. These weather patterns, rain, winds, and 2 days of sunshine, and then rain, wind. It's gonna pretty much be the norm. But the best thing is we're not getting the 24 inches of snow that Fargo's getting. So those guys can have that white stuff. I'm done with it. Let's see, what else do we got? I know the 2B Elliott rods are starting to show up at the dealers. If you're looking for any new open water stuff, we've got a new line of rods called the Ceres, Ceres, from 2B. It is a phenomenal rod for $140 retail. The balance on these things, if I was going to have to compare it to any other rod on the market, I'd probably put it up against like a St. Croix Avid series, maybe a little bit better balance, a little bit lighter. It's super nice rod. So if you have any 2B dealers, around you, or Elliott dealers around, definitely go take a look and see what they have in stock, and tell them I sent you out to look. Would you stay home? Justin, unless you are planning on flying kites tomorrow, it'd probably be a good idea to stay home. Last I checked, and we can bring it up here again. Let's just bring this up. So not to bring politics into it, but what's everybody think about that whole Trump thing? That's kind of funny. Let's see here. Tomorrow. So sustained winds at 32 miles an hour with gusts to 50. I would probably not go fishing tomorrow. It's probably going to be just a little bit too breezy for me. They're calling for got the itch, boat is ready. Well, get yourself some anti-itch cream because that's about all you're going to be able to do. Anyone here quit drinking Bud Light the past day or so? That stuff is funny. I'm sorry, but hey, it is the world we live in. Oh boy. I never drank that stuff to begin with, so they didn't lose anything from me there, that's for sure. I'm just curious to see who's gonna follow suit. That'll be funny. So yeah, tournaments. You've got Red Banks coming up this weekend, and then after that, a lot of bar tournaments, a lot of river tournaments coming up. Jamie says he fished the Menominee yesterday. Water temp was 36. Fishing was slow. Jared was up there. I think he had one 25-incher. A couple smaller fish, but didn't see a lot of fish caught. Pretty slow yet. I think the water's still really cold, and we just need some warm weather. This rain obviously is going to help. Skip the Bud, bring on the Central Waters. Yes, agreed. That Central Waters Brewing is really good beer. That blonde beer that they have is definitely one that we put in the boat all summer long. So yeah, ice fishing is going strong. I know my buddies up in northern Minnesota, they still are driving, dualies with 30-foot wheelhouses out to their crappie spots and whacking on a bunch of panfish up in northern Minnesota, Lake of the Woods. In the Dakotas, the guys are still fishing. Right now, they're getting just a pile of snow. It's crazy when we were on our vacation last week over in California and Vegas. What was crazy out there is, seeing the mudslides and the snow and, up in like Lake Tahoe and parts of Utah, they got 67 feet of snow, almost 900 inches of snow this year. It's crazy. It's how, Mother Nature, I guess, is just protecting herself. It goes from record, 100-year droughts to 100-year floods in a matter of 6 months. So good to see that the water's coming back. And, like I say, with all this dirty water and everything else that's happening on the rivers around here, not letting people get out, a lot of the fish are getting protected. I know they took a beating up on the Fox before, before the limits went into effect. A lot of guys caught fish. But now that the spawn is happening and everything else, it's really protecting the fish. Not a lot of guys are out and not a lot of fish are being caught. So that's one good thing. Yeah, Scott, that probably all won't melt this year. When you got 67 feet of snow, I don't know how do you even get down to the bottom of that to start melting? It's got to get pretty warm and stay warm for a long time to melt 67 feet of snow. It's just mind-boggling to see the pictures. Go out if you get a chance. Go and check out. Just do some Google searches on Lake Tahoe snow and see how these guys have had to dig their way through. Their houses are completely covered. They've had many rescues out there. I ran into some people at the airport that were flying in to come help get their families out of their houses because they'd been trapped. They were trapped in there for almost a week. Snowed in. They had to go and dig, with shovels just to get to a door. Using heavy equipment to get people out. It was crazy. It's quite the experience and crazy stuff to see. But thank goodness we don't have that around here. I guess I'll take some rain and wind over 2-3 feet of snow every time. And then obviously the guys up north are getting lambasted again with snow. So I guess if you want to do anything, I know the Wisconsin River's been doing really well. The Mississippi's been doing really well until all this rain. And now everything is just a giant mud pit, and we needed to calm down and let this water clear up, and fishing should get good after that. Other than that, we're running around. I've been doing some dealer meetings here, meeting with some guys for some sales stuff for next winter, all the new ice fishing stuff. We got some really cool new products coming out with Eskimo and some stuff in the works with some other companies, and some really neat stuff coming down the chute. I've started working with another company too, is Rush Creek Creations. They do different rod racks, and we're going to be kind of showing you some new stuff, some really cool organization stuff for guys' garages, for inside your man caves. If you got, looking to hang up your bow on the wall, or some gun racks, some fishing rod racks, some different accessories that you can put on the wall for storing tackle boxes. Some really cool new stuff coming down the chute. And as soon as I get that stuff here, I'll be able to show that to you guys. Really excited to get the shed done and get everything kind of cleaned up and organized, and be able to showcase a lot of the new stuff that we got for the season. So that's really all I got, guys. Like I say, next week, you definitely want to join in. We're going to have Gussie on, and we're going to talk some smallmouth fishing. We're going to talk Bassmaster Classic. I know he's still up in the Great White North ice fishing up in Kenora there. So we'll get kind of the whole lay down as far as what he's got going on, and let him tell you his experience. It's pretty cool to know a guy and have been fishing with Gussie and been friends for, over 20 years. The first time I think I ever went up to his place was about 21, 22 years ago, up to Kenora, and did some lake trout fishing, some walleye fishing with him up at Mike Christopher's place. And super nice guy, one of the nicest guys in the industry, and super honored to have him come and join us next week. So stay tuned, come and join us. And then please, again, what I'm looking at doing is doing some fishing reports from around the area. If you know any bait shops that would be interested, even outside of Wisconsin, it doesn't have to be here. we can get anybody on and let them tell their story, what's happening, how the fish are biting, what kind of sales and products, and kind of just do some bait shop spotlights and let everybody know who else is out there and where to patronize the businesses that are helping you guys out. So appreciate you guys joining. That's the current fishing report as we get out here over the next few days and over the weekends. I'll report in. Everybody have a really happy Easter and enjoy the time with family. And we'll see you guys next week, Tuesday at 8 o'clock with my buddy Gussie. Happy Easter, everyone. Enjoy the crappy weather tomorrow, and good luck, everybody, fishing the rivers and the tournaments this weekend. And we'll probably see you out there. Say hi. Talk to you guys later. Cheers.